You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. At least one person is dead and another is in critical injury after two helicopters collided and crashed in Hampton, New Jersey this morning. This happened just before 11:30 a.m. near Hampton Municipal Airport. One of the helicopters was reportedly engulfed in flames after the crash, but fire crews eventually put out the fire. The FAA says the collision involved an Instrom F-28A helicopter and an Instrom 280C helicopter. Only the pilots were on board each aircraft, and their identities have not been released. The National Transportation Safety Board is leading the investigation into the crash. And now to the urgent search for a 19-year-old Texas woman. Authorities believe she was last seen leaving her home on Christmas Eve. Her family is now speaking out. ABC's Jacqueline Lee joins us with the latest.
This morning, the desperate search for 19-year-old Camila Mendoza Almos. Authorities in Texas issuing a missing person alert. The teenager last seen just before 7 a.m. the morning of Christmas Eve on a neighbor's home security camera. The Bexar County Sheriff says this person here is believed to be Almos, leaving her San Antonio home and searching inside her car for an item. Moments later, the footage ends. Officials believe the teen then left on foot with just her car keys, leaving the car and her phone behind, something her friends say is not like her.
It's been very out of the normal.
It's not like her. She's always been the one to always stalk on us and like, why aren't you doing this?
To make sure that her phone's always charged.
The sheriff's office telling us they have conducted multiple searches using drones, search and rescue personnel, and even cadaver dogs. Almos was last seen wearing a black hoodie, baby blue pajama bottoms, and white shoes. Sheriff Javier Salazar saying cases like Camila are precisely why we are continuing to expand our missing persons unit. Our goal is always to reunite families as quickly as possible. Her mother telling officials that her daughter normally goes for a morning walk, but when she did not return within a reasonable period of time, she knew something was wrong. We love her. We miss her. We just want her back. The sheriff saying they will continue working around the clock to develop leads, and Camila's family saying they won't give up. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked a new Texas law that would have added restrictions on how children use app stores. The law, Senate Bill 2420, was set to take effect January 1st and would have required age verifications and parental consent before minors could download apps or make in-app purchases. But U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman ruled parts of the law are overly broad and likely violates the First Amendment. Supporters say the law protects children online, while opposers argue it limits free speech and parental choice. The legal battle is expected to continue. As New Year's Eve festivities and fireworks approach, some Crossroads counties are at a high fire risk from dry and high winds. Tomorrow might be the highest fire risk as it continues, like Refugio, Aransas, and Calhoun have very high risk factors for fire. Lavaca and DeWitt counties also have some high fire risk. DeWitt is still under a burn ban, first issued on November 10th, and Refugio is also still under a burn ban. For all other counties not under burn bans or not in the very fire risk warning, officials are still warning residents to use a caution when using fireworks. They remind everyone to always have plenty of water on hand and to make sure fireworks are completely extinguished before being thrown away. And to give us some more details on this potential fire danger in the Crossroads, Jacob Lozano is here with a deeper explanation. And here's the first look at the forecast, Jacob. How is dry is going to be for the New Year's Eve?
Yes, so we have a very strong cold front moving down here into the Crossroads region. It's going to be bringing very dry air and very windy conditions here for Monday. Taking a look at the fire risk map. So these are the counties with a high risk, as well as areas seeing very high, and up towards Gonzales, extreme fire risk up in the area there for us. And that's because we're going to be seeing some very dry conditions roll down here tonight and into tomorrow. And associated with that as well is the drought. We got an extreme drought around DeWitt County and portions of Victoria County and Goliad County as well. So it's going to be on the drier side as we await this frontal system to push down south here for us. So notice here it is, 10 p.m. Sunday. The dry conditions of the front line are going to push down south here, and we're likely going to continue to see up to close to the teens here for some very dry conditions in the morning time as well as for the afternoon time. Notice 18% for the humidity values, but associated with that, look at that 40-mile-per-hour gust winds here when the front rolls through. Likely to continue to see 40-mile-per-hour gust winds by 6 a.m. and then it'll start to diminish, but still we're going to be watching for 30-mile-per-hour gust winds in the afternoon time, and that's why we have that extreme fire risk for us. But as of right now, the front line is still well north of us. Look at that difference, 38 up in Amarillo, 81 down in Brownsville. Yeah, that's Texas weather for you. We'll talk about the front coming up. Amaya?
French actress and animal rights activist Brigitte Bardot has died at the age of 91. The Brigitte Bardot Foundation for the Protection of Animals tells the Associated Press she died at her home in southern France. No cause of death was released, though she had been hospitalized last month following ill health. Born in Paris, she became an international star, appearing in more than 40 films. She later devoted her life to animal rights, founding her organization in 1986. Now to the breaking news overnight. A major freeway north of Los Angeles reopening after a natural gas leak, but not before causing a huge backup for hours.
Overnight, a gas leak in California forcing a major freeway to shut down, causing traffic and concerns for commuters.
We smelled gas as soon as we got into Santa Clarita coming from Fillmore area.
Video showing the gas violently bursting into the air, kicking up debris and visible from miles away. Authorities shutting down the freeway, worried over the possible cause of the leak.
We didn't know we had a potential of a major explosion. That's when we had shut down all freeways in the immediate area.
Traffic backed up as far as the eye could see. Some drivers stuck on the road for more than 3 hours.
People are aggravated for sure.
Been in line for like an hour and 30 minutes already.
Oh my God.
Just backed up, don't know where to go.
The immediate area receiving a shelter-in-place order that's since been lifted. The freeway reopening shortly before 9 p.m. Saturday. The smell of gas subsiding by nightfall. Officials eventually finding and stopping the source of the leak, confirming that no explosion had occurred and declaring the area safe.
Our hazmat team has actually tested the area and the surrounding area. They're doing more tests at the site just to make sure, but right now they got 1 part per million. In other words, we're safe.
A reminder for Victoria County residents, due to the holidays, there will be no Commissioner Court meeting at the Victoria County Courthouse on Monday. County officials say regular meetings will resume January 5th, 2026. Residents with county business are encouraged to plan accordingly or check the county's website for updates. And for more local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. And if you see news happening, let us know. Call a number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. Coming up, President Trump meets with Ukraine's President Zelensky as new concessions could pave the way to end the war with Russia.
Temperatures there right around noontime hit 83. It looks like we also hit 84 though for the high. It's about a degree off from the record, but spring-like conditions are going to be leaving here. We'll talk about that coming up.
Welcome back. Now to the high-stakes meetings taking place between President Trump and Ukraine's President Zelensky, who is offering new concessions to end the war with Russia. ABC senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Florida with the details.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meeting with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago in Florida today. The two leaders discussing a 20-point peace proposal to end the nearly 4-year-long war with Russia.
We're going to have a great meeting today. Our teams talked about strategy, how to make step by step and to bring peace.
Zelensky is looking for security guarantees for Ukraine.
There will be a security agreement. It'll be a strong agreement. And the European nations are very much involved in that. They'll be very much involved in protection.
Zelensky has proposed a demilitarized buffer zone in the Donbass region in the eastern part of Ukraine. But Russia has indicated that it wants Ukraine to cede all of that territory and even land that Russia doesn't currently control.
They're on the side of democracy, liberty, and Russia's on the side of authoritarianism and aggression.
The high-stakes meeting comes just one day after Russia launched one of the biggest attacks on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, in months. Those strikes targeting power stations and residential buildings. On Saturday, both Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed doubts about the other's desire for peace.
This attack is, again, Russia's answer on our peace efforts, and it's really shows that Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace.
Putin said that Russia could see Ukraine was in no hurry to end the conflict by peaceful means. But ahead of today's meeting, President Trump expressing optimism, saying he spoke to Putin on the phone, calling it a good and very productive call, and that he plans to speak to Putin again after his meeting with Zelensky. Selena Wang, ABC News, Palm Beach, Florida.
And following the meeting today, President Trump is also set to meet with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow. A White House officials say the discussion will focus on Gaza and Iran. This marks Netanyahu's sixth meeting with Trump this year, with talks expected to include peace opportunities and ending Hamas rule in Gaza. Officials also say Iran's ballistic missiles program will be on the agenda. Netanyahu last visited Mar-a-Lago in July before Trump's second term. As part of the country's dig out from a post-Christmas snowfall, a new storm is forecast to hit from the Midwest into the Northeast, bringing more ice, snow, and heavy rain. This could affect the return home. ABC's Johnny Fernandez has the details.
New York City digging out just after over 4 inches of snow fell overnight. That's the most snow the city has seen since January of 2022.
I think it was absolutely beautiful. We're from North Carolina, so it was great to come up to New York and see the snow.
In New Jersey, crews prepared late Friday to stay ahead of the storm.
Right now it's wet, slippery. We're trying to keep everything nice and salted for all the people to get around safely.
Parts of New Jersey, as well as Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Michigan, have seen significant icing over the past few days, and another storm system is moving in.
As this storm slides off the Rockies, redevelops here over the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, we're talking rain, snow, and even ice possible heading into New England and parts of the Northeast as we head into later tomorrow.
In Southern California, an atmospheric river has brought torrential rains over the past week. Roads washed away, drivers stranded. In the Los Angeles neighborhood of Boyle Heights, a confirmed EF0 tornado tore down signs, scattered debris, and broke windows. Residents in the San Bernardino mountain community of Lytle Creek stranded after this bridge collapsed in the raging floodwaters. Meanwhile, roads and airports are jammed, with travelers heading home from their holiday destinations, and the weather is complicating things. Thousands of flights have been canceled or delayed since Friday.
This is wild. This is no Christmas miracle.
But some travelers are heading to warmer climates.
We're heading down to Sarasota and going to play golf with my dad.
But it's not just Florida with warm weather. Parts of the South and Midwest could see record-breaking temperatures before the weekend is over. Johnny Fernandez, ABC News, New York.
A beautiful but dangerous explosion happened today on Italy's most active volcano, Mount Etna. The volcano sent ash and smoke high into the sky, so scientists issued a red warning for pilots. That's the highest level of warning. Ash can make it hard to see and can even damage airplane engines if it gets inside. No flights have been canceled near the volcano. Mount Etna's craters is over 11,000 feet high and sits on the island of Sicily. Scientists watch the volcano all the time because it erupts often and is one of Europe's most monitored volcanoes. Experience our digital streaming service Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Temperatures right now is 79 degrees here in Victoria, but look up north, 38 degrees. Yes, that very strong cold front has made its way into Texas, now approaching Dallas right now. We'll talk about the timing of when it's going to arrive here in the Crossroads coming up. Well, Crossroads, I went ahead and put an alert day out for tomorrow across all our counties because we're going to be seeing some potential fire risks for tomorrow with 40-mile-per-hour gust winds likely extending to the afternoon time, as well as humidity values below 20%. So this is going to be pretty good conditions for some fires to get out of hand. So I highly encourage to just avoid any fire activity for tomorrow, even if it's just the little things. I would just highly recommend that we avoid that for tomorrow. So here it is, 11 p.m. We're watching the front line make its way down into the Crossroads region there. And yes, a difference in gusty winds, 16 miles per hour there in Victoria, up to 32 there. And it's going to continue to pick up here with close to 45 mile per hour gust winds up around the I-10 corridor. And for us, right around 6 in the morning, we're likely going to continue to watch for 40-mile-per-hour gusts to continue out of the north. And throughout the day, it's likely going to continue through the 30s and then eventually drop down into the low to mid 20s for the gusts. Sustained winds are likely going to continue at about 10 to 15 miles per hour around that time. But for us in the morning time, looking at 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds. As of right now, the frontal system is just making its way into Waco here. So we got a couple more hours there before it finally makes its way into our area. And associated with this is a very light shower activity that we'll likely see here as the system approaches down. I'm giving it about a 30% chance for some rain tonight. It's a quick moving system, so it's not really going to be affecting us in any sort of way other than keeping the cloud cover over us. And with that cloud cover, it's going to monitor our temperatures here and actually keep them pretty stagnant there without any daytime heating to radiate off the ground there. So 49 is what we'll be seeing here tomorrow morning, and we're going to continue to drop because of the cloud cover and the winds. We'll be at 47. Then we'll start to see a little bit more of a heating pattern take place, but really it's only by about 2-3 degrees. We'll be seeing close to the low 50s for the high before we drop down in temperature again because, well, there's lack of heating now. And watch this, Tuesday morning, we're going to be close to the mid to upper 30s to start our morning off. And yes, we'll likely be back up into the 50s for the low. So going to be very cold conditions there, but with the wind chill is going to be feeling very cold. So in the morning time for Monday, we're likely going to be feeling into the 40s here, and it's going to be quite chilly throughout the day, where we get up to about the 50s there for the morning chill or afternoon chill. And then, yes, look at that 6 a.m. there for the morning time. Going to be feeling closer into the 20s up there because of the wind. For us, we'll be likely into the mid 30s for us. And yes, it's going to be quite chilly, so make sure you have that jacket. And then we're going to be watching here for Wednesday to see if we actually get to that freezing point. I don't think we'll get it here in Victoria, more in the rural counties, but we're still going to watch and pay attention. So I've got it 35 right now for us in Victoria. But windy conditions for tomorrow. Temperature is going to be up into the 50s. Port Lavaca going to be seeing similar conditions as well. Very gusty winds out of the northeast there, with temperatures going to be very chilly. So make sure you have that jacket and a little windbreaker on top of that, because it's going to be quite chilly. Alert day for tomorrow. Temperatures will be right around average here for New Year's Eve before we jump back up in temperature there. Yes, we're going to be seeing a return of spring coming later this week. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And we're sending it to Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. East Girls Soccer is back. Big games, big rivals, and more coverage of this big this big tournament for the alumni. Join us for that and more coming up. Last night, we spoke with the East Alumni girls soccer players about their upcoming scrimmage for a cause. But today, let's focus on the present. The current East girls soccer team is full of steam ahead as they prepare for the regular season, excited to face some familiar rivals from the past, and it was all for a great cause.
I think it really means a lot. Like, we all come together and we just really support somebody that really means a lot to us. So I think something we could take away from today is we really need to talk more on our offense. But really, I think we're connecting a lot this year. Last year we were good, but I think this year we're going to be better.
I think we're really getting our groove, just starting really early into the season. We do leave for our tournament next week, so hopefully we just get our groove back. I think we're doing really good. We're really connecting.
The East girls will host the Gonzales tomorrow at Memorial Stadium at 11:30 a.m. in a non-district game. Following that, they will hit the road for another non-district matchup against Floresville. After these games, the Titans will prepare to participate in the Gulf Coast Classic. And speaking of Monday's action, let's talk about the West boys. The boys basketball team will take on the team of Brenham as a part of the Mike Smith Classic. The tournament kicks off at 9 a.m. with West hosting as the home tournament team. The Warriors are currently at 500 with an early preseason record of 8-8. Brenham, on the other hand, is a team in full swing, carrying the momentum with a 10-7 record. And staying on the hardwood, but at the collegiate level, the Texas Longhorns women's basketball team has taken the NCAA Division I preseason by storm. Today they faced off against Southeastern Louisiana. Brea Cunningham found her way inside over a defender for a teardrop layup in this play, finishing with 12 points. Madison Booker led the Longhorns, as always, with 20 points. The Longhorns dominated, defeating the Lions with the final score of 120-38. And no, that is no typo. Their defense held Southeastern Louisiana to just 38 points. and the San Antonio Spurs hot streak cooled off just a little bit thanks to the Utah Jazz. The Spurs had been the talk of the league after sweeping the Thunder 3 times, so expectations for this Jazz game were sort of high, and so it seemed. And after strong performances from Wemby and Keldon Johnson, the Jazz got big contributions from Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen stepping up to pull off the surprising 127-114 win over the Spurs last night. The Spurs will look to bounce back as they host the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow at 7 p.m. But Crossroads, who just finished last night's game, didn't leave just a little bit of empty-handed or without something to cheer for. The Refugio Band performed during the Spurs halftime show last night, and thanks to Candy Flores for this beautiful video. There you guys got that in the crowd. These performers took center stage and delivered a performance and experience that will be remembered forever for those performers. So a big congratulations to the Refugio Band. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you so much, Ray. A new 4-legged helper is on the job in Sherman, bringing comfort and stress relief to police officers. Next. Grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, get breaking news alerts, and vote in our viral polls. Submit news, tips, and photos, and you will know all about our ongoing contest. In Texas, the Sherman Police Department is trying something new to support their officers' mental health. Meet Monty, a 1-year-old spaniel mix from the local animal shelter. While he doesn't carry a badge or sniff out drugs, Monty's mission is just as important, helping officers and staff manage stress. Staff say they're excited to see Monty continue his training and make an even bigger impact on officers' wellness. Aww. Why are y'all looking at it like that? Monty is adorable.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the VO just looked kind of like he was in jail or something. Like, you know, he looked sad.
Y'all looked so. Only if they would have saw y'all face expression. I think it's nice that they bringing, stress relief pets into
makes the job a little easier for the officers.
Yeah,
it's a stressful job that they have.
It is very stressful. They need to bring one to us too, to have an animal so we can pet on.
I know with this weird weather, I mean, it must be stressful for you. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if it's spring or winter right now, but all I know it's December. That's pretty much all I can say. So we're going to continue to watch here for temperatures to drop as a front moves in tonight. We do have an alert day set up for tomorrow with some fire weather conditions possible here. With the humidity values dropping, and yes, 40-mile-per-hour gust winds for the morning and likely for the day. And then we're watching for Wednesday morning at 35 degrees, likely to see some isolated freezing possible in rural areas. We're going to continue to watch to see if we actually get to that number down in Victoria, but as of right now, I've got it at 35, thinking we're going to stay above that line before New Year's. Get around average, and then we warm right back up again, unfortunately. We're getting close to 80 degrees there for Friday.
That Texas weather.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be with us tonight for 25 News Now weekends at 10. See you.